Okay, so Soul Exchange is back. I think this is the third round that they're having it, and we've got ourselves quite some options here. And I think what I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna go through each one of the options one by one, probably just to see what they have in offer and what are my thoughts on basically the 15 different heroes that are available here. So generally for Soul Exchange, as you can see, you have the first line, which is you only require 10 spare heroes to trade for one of them, and it goes up by 5 every time you go down the lines. So next line is 15, the other one is 20. So let's look at the first line first, and just to give my thoughts on basically what the first line is. So we have Kiona. Kiona is a previous hero of the month, 2018. Basically, decent hit, and then she gives an attack boost to 3 if you place her correctly. Has the health gain, element link, and I think the 2018 is defense. Yep, it's defense. So similar to Evelyn in the green slot. Uh, my thoughts on Kiona: I'm not a big fan of average heroes who deal decent damage. If an average hero is only going to hit one, he either has to do a really big hit or he impacts the board in some way or another. So I will actually put Domitia, the season one purple 5 star, Domitia to be much higher than Kiona actually. Just on the sole fact that the Domitia can either dispel, or if you have the costume, she can cleanse. Basically 3. So yeah, not a big fan of Kiona, but I can see some people picking Kiona if they want to maybe improve, if they don't have an attack up for purple, or if they think that they need to complete their collection of Hero of the Months, then I can probably see someone getting Kiona. Not that I'm getting it. Next up, we have Ranveer. So Ranveer is I think, similar to Wukong in a sense that he has this huge attack boost, but it comes with a accuracy deficit. Um, so why you would pick Ranveer is if you only have Wukong, you were not lucky in Clash of Knights, you did not get Bertolf, you do not have Costume Wilbur, you do not have Oceanus, you do not have Mickey, you do not have any of the other huge attack boost heroes, then I can see maybe Ranveer being one of those choices that you would make. Honestly, with the amount of attack boost heroes that they're releasing, in fact, there's even one more coming. I think it's a 3-star that heals and gives this attack boost as well. I think with all of the choices out there, it's pretty hard to be convinced to pick this up, especially with the accuracy deficit. A lot of players, have this mentality that it seems to miss more than they actually hit. But I think one of the highest scores set for I think on Purple Titans was probably using Ranveer, if I'm not mistaken. You'll have to check that. But I think, yeah, I'm not convinced in picking Ranveer unless you really absolutely need him, or you just want to complete your collection of the 2019 Hero of the Month. Next up, we have Ladylock. I think she was one of the earlier Pirates of Corellia heroes that came out. So I can see some people picking this. Cleanse is always something good. And her damage is nothing to be, it's not really a pushover. 869 damage over 4 turns. it's something. It's substantial. I can see people picking this. uh I'm not sure whether there's actually a reason for you to pick this, unless you're looking to complete your pirates collection, or if you like her in general, because I think uh Ladylock was considered kind of a crowd favorite before this, but there's just too many strong greens out there that I'm not sure if yeah, it's worth picking this right now. But her skill is definitely unique. I don't think there's any others that does the same thing as her. Probably in a different ailment, but yeah, she's definitely one of the more unique ones. Natalia, it's 2018 Hero of the Month. This one, I mean, I started playing about 3 years ago, and back when I was playing that time, Natalia was around, and she really did cause some problems in the sense that mana degen was a pain in the ass to deal with. But again, this is more of a outdated hero. I think, aesthetic wise, people will pick this. But I don't see her being used right now in the current meta. Yeah, but it does, the effect. I think her burn and her mana degen cannot be dispelled, so that is something to consider. But unfortunately, I think she's pretty much outdated, even though she is fast. The last one is Raphael. Raphael's 2020 Hero of the Month. Uh, I used to think he was one of the more powerful healers, in a sense that if you get to fire him off, and your heroes are on the brink of death, this is like the clutch healer that you could use in your offense teams. Definitely not for defense. I don't see Raphael being a threat at all in defense wherever you put him. So yeah, I would use this guy specifically on offense, but being slow. And we're gonna see this later on in the rows to come, that there will be a much more impressive healer than Raphael. However, I think, again, aesthetic wise, maybe people like Raphael, they might want to pick him. I'm not too sure, but I'm still not convinced that you would pick Raphael over the next healer that we'll look at later on. So yeah, so that's in the 10 hero slots. I'm not saying these are bad pickups, but I think as we move down the ranks, you will see how much more stacked the other rows are. So we're gonna move to 15 heroes. The 15 hero slot. So the first one is Senan. Senan's from the Slayer family. I think this one was one of the ones that I actually liked before this, but I think right now he's being overshadowed by a more impressive purple slow. Before this he was slow, but now they changed it to Slayer speed, which actually helps if you have a level 29 or level 30 magic troop, and you pick his mana node, he can actually go off in 9 tiles. So Senan deals damage to all, summons a fiend, but the fiend doesn't do anything. Now this gets overshadowed by the new guy from War of the Three Kingdoms, Lubu. I think Lubu is much better, than Senan. He's slow, yes, but generally I think you use Senan. The most I've seen Senan being used is in very fast wars. And right now Lubu, I think Lubu is the superior one. So if you have Lubu, you probably wouldn't go for Senan. If not, if you don't have Alfrag, or you don't want to use Trivial in your very fast defense, maybe you can consider Senan. But I think in terms of power level, he's being outclassed a fair bit. Like maybe even Chakrazot would be slightly better, not sure. And then there's Visaro as well, where the Fiends, I don't think the Fiends do anything as well for Visaro. So yeah, not I think it's a decently hot pick, I know people were frowning at his aesthetics before this. People didn't really like the Slayer graphics, but I think the Kill Vala heroes look worse than him. So yeah, that probably I can see people picking Senan. If they don't have like a slow purple that they want to use as tank for very fast wars, or if they want to pair with other Slayers. Next up, we have Auda. So basically a season 4 sniper. I think a passive is that she deals more damage. Yep. Deals 30% more damage. Sorry, 30% added to the power when she uses her skill the first time in a match. So extremely hard hitting sniper. Not the hardest hitting sniper. I don't think she's in the top 5 at all. But on condition, she might be somewhere up there as well. If somebody has boosted health. Recently, I think the current trend of healers is that there are a lot with boosted health, and then if they have boosted health, if the target has boosted health, then Auda hits like a truck. She's a rogue as well, so I can see the appeal of getting her. Personally, I'm not a big fan of snipers. It just takes too long, and if you want to put them on defense, it just takes too long to work them out for a kill. And on offense, generally in my yellow squad, in my yellow roster, I tend to have more hit tree heroes, or someone that can basically hit multiple heroes. That it's my general MO of playing yellows into like the generals Norfolk tanks or the kill hair tanks. So yeah, Auda, but I can see this being a choice as well, because it's a sniper. At the end of the day, the huge upfront damage on a single target is fairly appealing, and I can see people getting this as well. Next up, we have Zelen. I think it's an age-old favorite by everybody who's been playing since 2018. I think Zelen before this was kind of good as well. I think she was in most defenses as well. And the thing I like about her is she dispels buffs, and the enemies get negative 34% attack for 4 turns. That is, I think, really good, despite her not having any damage at all. I mean, 143% damage is fairly insignificant. So yeah, I can see people getting Zelen. She is still used by a fair bit of players. I'm not sure in the top tier they're using it, but I think mid tier, even if you're just starting right off the bat, you need basically a dispeller. Zelen's pretty good. Yeah, I don't think there's anything bad I would say about her. I mean, damage, you won't use her for damage. You're using her for the utility, and that's about it. You know, um, and even her element link as well. If you have 2018 heroes in your lineup in that offense team, 10% mana generation to all is kind of good. Especially if you don't have the mana troops to sustain some of your heroes that you're using. If you're playing mono, if you're playing 3-2 and you need some help in terms of mana generation, then Zelen's a good choice. Next one we have is Captain Kestrel. This is not really a favorite, I would say, by most players. I think I've seen quite a number of players being like, yeah, why is Captain Kestrel here? I mean, he hits 3, yeah, sure, but that damage is so low. So I actually have Captain Kestrel maxed, and I have used him in my wars before, and I think it's pretty decent, especially if you know how to work around the timings. Like if you can build it up to the point where the enemy has almost a full bar of mana, and you can just pop them with like Kestrel and maybe like a defense down. Maybe if you have costume Marjana, yeah, he works well with that, and he's a rogue. And I think this matters as well. Yeah, if you have like a second or maybe the 3 pirates at the same. I can't think of any pirates right now. Okay, maybe Finley. Yeah, that gives him a bit more attack, and that's nothing to scoff at. Uh, But generally I can see people not taking this. There are definitely more stronger raids that you can choose from. There's a stronger one in the next row. I'll get to that in in a short while. But yeah, I have Captain Kestrel maxed, and I'm not regretting leveling him up as well. I even have him at full emblems, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And there was a point where I considered limit breaking him, but I decided instead of him to limit break costume Black Knight when I got him. So yeah, I think it's a solid choice. Personally, I think it's a solid choice. If you need someone, if you need like a fast hit tree, and you are aware of how to play around the timings, then yes, he'll be quite a solid choice. The last one in the 15 slot is Tiobal. Now Tiobal is from the later Starfall Circus event. It's basically this guy that deals a crap load of damage to the enemy with the highest remaining HP, and he deals quite a decent damage to all the other enemies as well. So basically what you're doing is, if he doesn't kill you, he's probably crippling you. He does come with a utility as well. All allies reflect all status effect and reflect 115% damage back to the attacker from nature's special skills for 4 turns. This, I can see this working with Kalo. Like recently, the current, the hot thing that's going on in Very Fast Wars is people putting Kalo at the left wing, and Kalo, basically you kill everybody on the other side, you kill their Alfred, you kill their you kill maybe their Khufu as well, and you kill their Madanov, whatever, and Kalo fires because you can't kill him in time. If I'm not mistaken, Tiobal can block those whatever that Kalo is firing at you. So like the mindless attack, I think, I can't be too sure, but I'm almost 100% sure that he can reflect that. So if you have Tiobal and he fires first, he kind of saves your team for that one instance. If Alfred comes back and she was full mana, well, you're basically screwed anyways. But I think this is decent. Like Tiobal is actually in my top 3 for this Soul Exchange. I would have picked him, but I'll make my decision after going through the rest of the rosters. But I think he's good. Like, if this was all we're talking about, if you have only 15 heroes and you want to swap, and you need a good blue, which will help you for Very Fast Wars, for maybe events, if you need somebody that can hit everybody, if you need him in, let's say, tournaments, Very Fast Wars, if you are comfortable with playing with slow heroes for your regular wars, for anything else except for Titans, I don't see him as a Titan hero, then yes, I would pick Tiobal. Like, I think when the Circus event was first released, Tiobal was actually the one hero that I actually wanted. And this was before Falin was buffed, before Zuri became a crazy ass healer, and before I realized that Emilio was actually such a freaking good hero to use against Alfred. I actually wanted Tiobal. And in the Circus there was Bobo as well, but I kind of like Tiobal more in terms of the utility compared to Bobo, even though Bobo generally is superior. But I think Tiobal is, to me, very solid. So now we're done with the 15 heroes. Let's look at the 20 hero slot. And this, I tell you, from the previous 2 soul exchanges, I think this time they really made it super stacked. And it's only because that I already have 4 of the 5 heroes that are in the 20 slot that I actually didn't have a hard time deciding on who I would pick. So let's start with the purple Onyx. Onyx was one of the earlier ninjas, the 5 primary ninjas that were released during the Ninja Tower. And to me, Onyx is still one of my favorite ninjas to use in wars, in in tournaments, not so much in challenge events because I don't use purple, not so much in Titans, but his utility is undeniably one of the strongest in in the ninjas, in the ninja rosters. I pulled Onyx and Cobalt in two free pulls for the ninja tower, so I was pretty lucky to get Onyx, and I never looked back. In fact, I'm actually thinking of limit breaking Onyx once I have more purple eaters. I'm currently using him together with Khonshu because his first charge charges the same time as Khonshu, same amount of matches, and that helps a lot. And man, if you have not used Onyx, you will really enjoy using Onyx. The the ability to just block buffs on the opponent, to dispel any existing buffs, is freaking awesome. And if you have a level 11 mana troop at minimum, uh, this allows you to hit 3, and with me hit 3s, that's a good sign for me. Like three matches hit 3, I'm sold. If you get to the third charge, that's just you better win if he if he hits, if he goes to third charge, and if you don't win that match, something's wrong. So yeah, I think Onyx is a really solid pick. If you do not have a dispeller, if you need a dispeller, if you have trouble going against Taunt, if he pretty much shuts down Ludwig in three matches. Like Ludwig is not going to do anything, and Ludwig will fire slower than Onyx. So yeah, Onyx is really good. And even if they have counter attack, if you want to dispel them, he does have a chance to bypass, thanks to him being a ranger. Freaking awesome hero. I can see people investing 20 heroes to get Onyx. And I think this is the first ninja that was on. I'm not sure if Micah was in or Jade was in. I'm not sure, but Onyx is really a good choice. Next up, we have Director Zuri. And I think I speak for quite a number of people. I think I can say truly well that Zuri is one of the best healers in the game right now. She doesn't overheal. That's the only downside. But man, she got buffed twice. Like I don't even know why she needed to be buffed twice, but she got buffed twice. And recovering 65% health for the ally with the least amount of health, and healing 42% health to everybody else, that just basically means everybody's healing to the max health. Like, no questions asked. On top of that, she gives you an additional 15% buffer with a meat shield of a clown minion, and she cleanses status ailments. Like what is there not to like from Zuri? Like, sure, sorcerer class, so that's that's probably gonna pop up every now and then. When you go against, you can see her applying the mana degen, but hey, that actually comes up every now and then. That's good. I'll say that's a freaking good uh, uh, utility that pops up every now and then. And with the family bonus, she can practically cleanse herself as well, 50% of the time. And if you have two, I used to run Zuri and Falin together. They basically, they basically cleanse themselves. I don't really need to use her cleansing ability on both of them. I only need it when the other three are in trouble. So yeah, I think Zuri is by far one of the best picks to pick in this soul exchange, especially if you don't have an average healer. If you don't have, say for example, at the bare minimum, you don't have the Andre, the 4-star yellow healer from the circus event as well. If you are using Vivica and you realize that maybe Vivica is a bit too slow for you, hell, Zuri is your option, man. Is your pick. The next one, like I'm not even sure why they even put this in here, and because this is one of the latest events that are coming up. This is Quinnell from the Clash of Knights event. She is one of the strongest green hit trees that you can get, especially if you really enjoy playing a play style where you are basically playing a hit tree team composition, where you're using something like Evelyn or Marcel or Frigg to basically kill one side of the enemy. Quinnell is by far one of the strongest. Her skills give 40% power for the next special skill they cast up to 200%. That means if she hits once and you let her fire a second time, if they are not dead, either you played that match wrongly or they were seriously tough. She is by far one of the stronger picks. I would pick her if you do not have heroes like El Nadaha, you do not have heroes like Costume Francine or Francine. You need someone to support Francine or Costume Francine. You need someone, if you have Liu Bei or Guan Yu, those are basically the premier green hit trees around there. Quinnell is basically up there. And, it's only because I have two El Nadahas and I already have a Quinnell that I'm not even considering Quinnell. So yeah, but if you do not have El Nadaha, you do not have any of those greens that I mentioned, and you want something to beef up your green attack team, and if you need a green in defense as well, Quinnell is up there. Quinnell is one of the best green heroes that will ever grace Soul Exchange until they start coming up with season, the as the season goes on, you get more insane green heroes. Maybe she'll get outclassed. I'm not too sure. Like, I think this is one of those timeless heroes that will never go away. Just based on how strong she is. Number 4, Asterius. This is from the villains family. He also got a buff once he came out, and so now he deals quite a lot of damage. And I think this is fairly underrated. Like, I don't think many people appreciate Asterius as much as some of the select few do. I think he's really strong. He gives you another avenue of defense. This defense does not override the normal defense down. So you can pair a normal defense down with his corrosive defense down and an elemental defense down, and you basically have a strong tree hero composition to basically, against Titan, against in wars, any kind of wars. He's basically, going to hurt. He's going to hurt a lot. And I think, to me, Asterius, some people say he might not be worth the 20 hero slot, and I'm inclined to agree with them, especially with the previous three that we just saw. I mean, Onyx, Zuri, and Quinnell, all those three are pretty much premier as well. Those are premium heroes. And Asterius, to me, personally, I think he's good. Like, he's really good. I won't put it past people to pick Asterius. And I think a couple of my alliance members, they have picked Asterius as well. And I think he's really good, especially average speed, 360% damage to 3, quite a decent attack stat. I'm probably going to limit break him if I ever got him. Yeah, I can see people picking this, and for lack of a better option in raid, if you do not have Octros, Guardian, Costume Guardian Kong, Luina, Elizabeth, or even Black Knight, you can even consider Asterius for defense. So yeah, it's still a superb option. Like, I think this is really, really good as well. The final one, Morel. Probably the shortest text out of all the heroes that are available here. Deals 180% damage to all enemies. That's fine. All enemies get minus 34 defense for 3 turns. That's the money there. And the passive, he deals a bit more damage the first time he fires. I think Morel is still a premium blue on defense if you do not have Costume Alacy. I think you still use Morel, especially if you have something like Octros that hits all in general wars. If you have Costume Master Leapers, if you have the Crocodile so back from season 5, you generally want Morel, because how often do you get to see a fast speed hero that hits all and gives defense down to all? Like the closest you can get to this is probably Isarnia, or so I'm currently using Costume Athena, and I prefer Athena because of my hit tree, and I do not have Costume Leapers, I do not have Sobek, so I don't use Morel for war. I use Athena instead because Athena goes well with Cobalt better in my opinion. But Morel is still something that I can see people picking a lot, because it's just premium. When Morel first came out, I didn't really think too much about him, because uh, I already had Athena then, and I don't see why I would need him. But when I got him, I understood why he was just really good. Like fast speed, defense down is generally really good, and if you can get the right components to use him with, it's freaking awesome as well. So I can see people getting Morel, especially if you didn't manage to get him in the season 5 portals. So you can choose him as well. So we went through all the 15 heroes that are available in this soul exchange, and I can tell you there is no right or wrong answer here. Like, you have to look at where you're playing. How's your roster? Everybody's roster will be different. Everybody's requirements will be different. Not everybody, there's probably no one person that has the exact same roster and the exact same playstyle as somebody else. If you're a big spending whale, you probably have all the heroes. I'm not sure if your playstyles will be the same. I think generally in the top tier meta, everybody should be playing roughly the same team compositions, which are basically the ideal meta teams to go against the meta defenses. But hey, not everybody's there. Not everybody will be playing in the top tier. Mid-range tiers, mid-tiers, bottom tiers. Okay, bottom tier sounds bad. I mean, if you go down the lower tiers, I'm basically playing in a top 200 alliance, that basically shares. We do breach top 100 every now and then, uh, but yeah, these kind of decisions, it's not easy, and there's no right or wrong. I don't think there is a way to tell people that, hey, you chose the wrong hero. It has to depend on your roster. If you need a defense down, you'll definitely pick Morel. Like why would you not pick Morel if you need a fast speed defense down hero and you do not have a good blue hero to put in your defense? You'll definitely pick Morel. If you need to improve your raid offense teams, if you need a good raid in defense, why not pick Asterius? Why not pick Kestrel if you need someone to pair with Costume Marjana and you have the troops to make them fire in 7 tiles? Why not? I think this really depends on how you look at your roster, what are your requirements. And when I say that, I don't think materials, ascension materials, or emblems will ever come into the picture here. I don't think those are factors that you need to consider, because it's long term. This is a long term game, and if materials are part of your concern, then this shouldn't be part of your consideration. You won't be picking, like, if you don't have darts, then you won't pick the yellows from this option. Why? If you need a yellow healer, and for the time being, if you can suffice with them playing at 370, why not? So my general idea and my general take into this soul exchange is to look at your roster, look at the gaps where you need to fill. Do you need a green? Do you need a red? Do you need a yellow? Do you need a purple? Do you need a blue? What are the things that you need? Do you need it just for collection? Do you need it to improve a certain team? Do you want a dispeller? Do you want a healer? Do you want somebody that hits so hard they never come back from it. It's all up to you. And there is no right decision, and there shouldn't be a case where people tell you that, hey, you made the wrong choice, because they do not know your roster, they do not know your play style. Somebody One of the interesting conversations that I got into earlier this when the Soul Exchange first release was, somebody was saying that Tahir, the current hero of the month, was better than Asterius. And maybe that's because he enjoys playing snipers more than he enjoys playing, with heroes that hit 3. Yeah, so then Asterius will not be part of his choice. But that shouldn't dissuade you from picking Asterius if you need a hero that basically hits 3 and can synergize with who you have on your roster. So take the time to think. You have a day, slightly less than 2 days to think about this, and take your time to consider what you need the most out of this. So to me, my decision is fairly simple. I need to improve my red offense teams. I generally have the most failures, I think, with red in regular wars. So I am deciding to choose Asterius. I thought about a second Director Zuri, but I did pull Riz. I think I can just show it from here. Yeah, I did pull Riz. Okay, I can't click him, so forget it. Yeah, so I just got Riz. I already have a Zuri, and I do have Professor Lightenbrock, and I have 3 DeAndres. One of them leveled, 2 of them I'm leveling soon. So I don't need another yellow healer. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pick Asterius, because I think Asterius will go well with what I have in red. I do have other options as well. I'm not picking Cornell because I have 2 Nadahas and I already have a Cornell, so I don't generally need them anymore. So yeah, okay, I know people are gonna scream, why are you not keeping I think I'll keep the freak. Yeah, so why are you like sending all this away? Yeah, I have 1 Skadi max, I have 1 Heimdall maxed. Freak, I might do a second copy, I'm not sure yet. All these season 1 I can recoup them in my training camp. All these hero of the months I don't really need. Rasula, I have 1 at 370. So yeah, I am going to do this. So let me just take a screenshot and I will exchange. Ta-da! Okay, so I hope you guys make the informed decision in picking who you want to pick for your soul exchange, and I hope whichever hero you get, you'll be satisfied with. Well, if you have something to disagree, if you have some points that I didn't raise up, feel free to add them in the comments. And good luck with your soul exchange.